What if I told you that Belly's story isn't over yet? That the emotional roller coaster we all felt in the season 3 finale was only the beginning of something even bigger? A movie is on the horizon, and with it, the promise of closure, heartbreak, and maybe a wedding that fans have been dreaming about for years. But here's the catch. Nothing is set in stone, and Jenny Han has been dropping just enough hints to keep us guessing. Could this film finally reveal Belly's ultimate choice, or will it surprise us in ways we never expected? Let's dive deep into the secrets, the clues, and the future of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Section 1. The movie announcement and what we know so far. The journey from small screen to silver screen has officially begun. After the season 3 finale left fans in tears, author and showrunner Jenny Han, alongside lead actress Lola Tung, confirmed that The Summer I Turned Pretty is getting a movie continuation. The announcement didn't just send ripples through the fandom. It set the internet on fire with speculation about what comes next for Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. On NBC's Today Show, Han and Tung revealed the first major details, though in true Jenny Han fashion, they kept the biggest secrets under wraps. Tung, smiling but cautious, admitted that she's known about the movie for a while but couldn't say much. Han, however, dropped one crucial clue. The film will center around another milestone in Belly's life. Immediately, fans began whispering the word wedding. Could this be Belly and Conrad finally sealing their love story? Or does Jenny Han have one more emotional twist in store before the curtain falls? What makes this announcement so powerful is timing. Just one day after the finale aired, Prime Video confirmed that Lola Tung and Christopher Briney will reprise their roles as Belly and Conrad, ensuring that the love story at the heart of this series continues with the same chemistry we've all fallen for. Their return brings continuity, but also raises questions. If Jeremiah was left behind in Paris, will Gavin Casalegno's character still play a role in the film? Or is this truly the moment Belly and Conrad's relationship takes center stage? Jenny Han has been careful not to answer directly, keeping the tension alive and fueling endless fan theories. The excitement is also fueled by what Han has already accomplished. She has completed a draft of the script with co-showrunner Sarah Kusurka, though she insists production is still in the early stages. It's still too soon to say, Han admitted. We don't know when it's coming out. But it's not next year. This one statement is both frustrating and thrilling. It means fans will have to wait, but it also confirms that the story is being given the time and care it deserves. Han has often explained that a film format allows for a more complete ending than another season ever could. A 2-hour movie gives her the space to tie up every loose end, deliver the emotional punches fans crave, and send Belly's journey off with the resonance it deserves. The buzz around this movie isn't just hype, it's rooted in the themes that made this series a global hit in the first place. Love, nostalgia, heartbreak, and the painful beauty of growing up. Han's ability to balance tender romance with family drama has struck a chord with audiences worldwide, and Amazon executives have already praised the show as a global sensation. That sets the stage for a film that doesn't just continue the story, but elevates it to a final chapter worthy of the characters and the fans who've walked this journey with them. So, here's the first big takeaway. Belly's story is not over. A milestone is coming, and with Jenny Han at the helm, we know that milestone will be filled with emotion, tension, and just enough mystery to keep us all hooked. The question is not whether the movie will deliver closure, it's how. Will it give fans the ending they've been waiting for, or one they never saw coming? For 3 seasons, audiences have watched Belly Conklin wrestle with the most complicated love triangle of her life. Jeremiah was her sunshine, her comfort, her dependable choice. Conrad was her storm, the one who could make her heart race with just a glance, but also the one who could break it with a single word. Season 3 finally tipped the scales, ending with Conrad and Belly's long-awaited reunion in Paris, a scene that melted hearts around the world. But here's where the suspense begins. Was that truly their happy ending, or was it just the beginning of an even more emotional chapter? Jenny Han has hinted that the upcoming movie will capture a new milestone for Belly. Fans have quickly latched onto the possibility of a wedding, and why not? The season finale already delivered one wedding that never happened. Belly's canceled engagement to Jeremiah. The irony of ending the series with a broken wedding only to start the movie with a new one is too poetic for Han to ignore. Imagine it. Belly in a wedding dress, Conrad waiting at the end of the aisle, Jeremiah sitting quietly in the audience. It sounds like the perfect way to wrap up years of tension, but if you know Jenny Han's style, You know she doesn't write perfect. She writes real, messy, bittersweet. That's why this movie feels less like a straightforward love story and more like a ticking time bomb. Every fan wants to believe in Conrad and Bellies forever, but deep down, everyone is bracing for one last twist. Let's not forget that the show has already taken liberties with the source material. In Han's book, We'll Always Have Summer, Conrad and Bellies' story ends with a wedding after years of separation. The series, however, altered the path. Belly canceled her wedding to Jeremiah and reunited with Conrad in Paris instead. That means the movie could either bring us full circle with a wedding that finally cements their love, or it could carve out a completely new direction. The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this moment so thrilling. Will Han stay faithful to her original ending, or will she use the movie as a chance to rewrite the conclusion in a way that surprises even her most loyal readers? Another layer of suspense lies in Jeremiah's role. Though Belly chose Conrad in the finale, Jeremiah's presence in her life has never been small. He's not just Conrad's brother, he's Belly's first love, her confidant, and someone who has shaped her journey from the very beginning. Fans who rooted for Jeremiah are not ready to let go, and the movie may not allow them to. It's possible Jeremiah will return, not as the rival lover, but as someone whose unresolved feelings add tension to Belly's new milestone. His character arc deserves closure, and Jenny Han knows it. The big question is, will Jeremiah find happiness elsewhere, or will he remain tied to Belly's story until the very end? What makes the upcoming film so fascinating is the duality of emotions it promises. On one hand, fans are desperate for joy. After all the heartbreak, they want to see Belly find peace and true love. On the other hand, The Summer I Turned Pretty has always been about growing up, and growing up is never painless. Weddings are not just celebrations. They're crossroads. They force characters to look at where they came from, who they've hurt, and what sacrifices were made along the way. If Belly and Conrad do walk down the aisle, it won't just be about romance. It will be about forgiveness, healing, and the weight of every decision that led them there. And here's where the suspense tightens. Jenny Han has openly said she writes endings that feel earned, not easy. That means fans shouldn't expect a fairy tale wrapped neatly in a bow. The movie could easily shift between joy and heartbreak, love and loss, certainty and doubt. We might get the wedding fans are hoping for, but we might also get something far more complicated. A bittersweet finale that mirrors the messy beauty of real life. So as we move closer to this film, one thing is clear. Belly and Conrad's relationship is the beating heart of the story. But whether that heart ends in a vow of forever or a goodbye, whispered too soon remains the greatest mystery of all. When Jenny Han first introduced the world to The Summer I Turned Pretty, it was a simple love story about a girl caught between two brothers during the summers of her youth. But over the years, it has grown into something far larger, a cultural phenomenon that speaks to the bittersweetness of growing up, falling in love, and making choices that shape the rest of your life. Now Han stands at a crossroads of her own. By bringing the story to the big screen, she isn't just adding another chapter. She's rewriting the way fans will remember Belly's journey forever. The biggest difference lies in format. For 3 seasons, the series had the luxury of time. We watched Belly's relationships evolve slowly across lazy summer afternoons, late-night parties, and heartbreaking confrontations. But a movie doesn't have that same room to breathe. Instead, every scene must count. Every line of dialogue must carry weight. Jenny Han herself has said that a film allows her to give the story its proper due. What does that mean? It means she sees this movie not as an extra installment, but as the definitive conclusion. A finale powerful enough to tie together every theme, every character arc, and every unresolved emotion the series left behind. The writing process has already begun, and fans should take comfort in knowing that Han herself is leading the charge. Working alongside co-showrunner Sarah Kucerka, Han has completed the first draft of the script, ensuring that the story remains true to its core. But even with a draft in hand, production is still in its early stages. It's too soon to say when it's coming out, Han admitted during her Today Show appearance. But not next year. We still have to make it. This uncertainty has only fueled speculation. If the script is already in progress, what twists and turns could Han be hiding within those pages? And, more importantly, is she planning to deliver the ending fans expect, or the one they least expect? One reason the suspense feels so intense is because Jenny Han has a history of surprising her audience. In her original trilogy of books, Belly and Conrad's wedding served as the emotional conclusion to their long, tumultuous relationship. But the series finale proved that Han is not afraid to diverge from the source material. Instead of an engagement at Cousins Beach, we got a breathtaking Paris reunion. That one creative choice has cracked the story wide open, giving the movie the freedom to chart a new course. Will Han honor the wedding ending her readers already know, or will she craft a fresh finale that no one can predict? The answer lies in her pen, and right now, she's not revealing a thing. What we do know is that Han values emotional honesty above all else. In countless interviews, she's explained that she doesn't write fairy tales. She writes about real people with real flaws. That's why Belly isn't a perfect heroine, Conrad isn't an untouchable romantic lead, and Jeremiah isn't simply the safe choice. They're complicated, messy, and deeply human. A movie gives Han the chance to sharpen that honesty to its fullest potential. Without the padding of episodic storytelling, she can strip the narrative down to its rawest emotions. And for fans, that means one thing: prepare for a finale that may break your heart even as it heals it. Behind the scenes, Prime Video executives have already promised that the film will carry the same emotional weight that made the show a global success. In a joint statement, Amazon MGM's Vernon Sanders and Curtin Valente praised the series for creating moments of joy, nostalgia, and connection across audiences worldwide. They made it clear, the goal of the movie is to give fans an unforgettable conclusion. But let's pause here. Whenever executives use the word conclusion, it signals finality. This isn't just another season, another chapter, or a temporary fix. This is the end of Belly's story as we know it. And when a writer like Jenny Han writes an ending, she makes sure it lingers long after the credits roll. So the real suspense isn't just about what happens in the story, it's about how Jenny Han will choose to end it. Will she give fans the wedding they've waited for? Will she twist the narrative into something unexpected? Or will she deliver an ending that feels both inevitable and surprising, the kind of finale that makes you wonder how you didn't see it coming all along? The only certainty is this: whatever Han has written, it will be deliberate, emotional, and unforgettable. As the draft script sits quietly in her hands, Jenny Han holds the power to decide the fate of Belly Conklin. And until the movie premieres, all fans can do is speculate, rewatch, and prepare themselves for the ending of a story that has defined their summers, their heartbreaks, and maybe even their own first loves. To truly understand what the movie might hold, we have to revisit where the series left us. Season 3's finale wasn't just an ending. It was a seismic shift in Belly's journey, one that carried echoes of Jenny Han's original novels, but also dared to create something new. And it all began with heartbreak. Fans watched in disbelief as Belly walked away from her engagement to Jeremiah. What should have been the happiest day of her life unraveled before her eyes, exposing doubts she could no longer ignore. In the book We'll Always Have Summer, this moment is a turning point, but the series added a twist of its own. Instead of an engagement at Cousins Beach, the show pushed Belly's story across the ocean to Paris, where her fate would collide with Conrad once again. That Paris reunion was no ordinary scene. It was the culmination of years of tension, longing, and missed chances. Belly, exhausted from heartbreak yet still holding on to hope, finds herself face to face with Conrad, the boy who has haunted her every summer since she was 15. In one breath, Conrad lays it all bare. He confesses his love, not with the grand gestures we might expect, but with raw honesty. It's not perfect, it's not polished, it's real. And that's why it hits so hard. The two spend the day together, wandering through the streets of Paris, as if reclaiming the years they lost. A birthday dinner, laughter, the kind of quiet intimacy that only comes when two people finally stop running from their feelings. And then, a night that changes everything. But Jenny Han didn't stop there. The finale delivered one final flash forward, a glimpse into the future. Belly and Conrad, older, wiser, and walking hand in hand through the summer house that started it all. It was a promise, a whisper of forever, but one that left more questions than answers. Were they married? Were they simply together, still figuring things out? Was this truly their happily ever after, or just a snapshot in time before life threw another storm their way? The ambiguity is what makes it so powerful. It feels like an ending, but also an open door. For fans, this ending stirred every emotion possible. Relief, because Belly and Conrad had finally found each other again. Sadness, because Jeremiah's heartbreak still lingered like a shadow. And anticipation, because this didn't feel like the last chapter. It felt like a pause before something bigger. And now, with the movie on the horizon, it's clear that the finale was never meant to be the end. It was the setup for the final act. What makes this transition so thrilling is the way it mirrors Belly's own journey. From the first season, she has been caught between who she was and who she's becoming. The shy girl who once counted down to summer is now a woman making choices that will define her future. The canceled wedding wasn't just a plot twist. It was Belly finally realizing that love isn't about safety, it's about truth. And the Paris reunion wasn't just fan service, it was the moment she embraced the risk of following her heart, no matter how messy the road might be. The movie, then, feels inevitable. The finale gave us hope, but not certainty. A flash forward is not the same as closure, and Jenny Han knows her audience too well to leave them dangling in ambiguity. That's why this film carries so much weight. It's the bridge between the promise of Paris and the reality of forever. Will the movie confirm that Belly and Conrad's future is sealed with vows and rings? Or will it complicate the story one last time, forcing the characters to confront the consequences of every decision that brought them here? One thing is undeniable. The finale's emotional blueprint is guiding the film. Belly's canceled wedding sets the stage for a new milestone. Conrad's confession in Paris sets the tone for the kind of raw, vulnerable love story that could only be resolved in a cinematic climax. And Jeremiah's absence in the final moments leaves a haunting silence that begs to be filled. So as fans replay that Paris reunion over and over, the truth becomes clearer. It wasn't an ending. It was the spark that lights the fuse of the movie to come. And when that fuse burns down, what waits on the other side might just be the most emotional, breathtaking, and unexpected chapter of Belly's story yet. What began as a quiet trilogy of books has now become a worldwide sensation. The Summer I Turned Pretty didn't just capture the hearts of readers, it exploded into a global streaming phenomenon that has defined summers for millions of fans across continents. From the sandy shores of Cousins Beach to the glowing lights of Paris, Belly's story has crossed cultures and languages, leaving behind a trail of nostalgia, heartbreak, and connection. And now, with a movie on the horizon, the weight of that legacy hangs in the balance. This is not just another chapter. It is the last. The numbers tell one story, but the emotions tell another. Prime Video executives have openly praised the series for striking a chord with audiences everywhere, calling it a global sensation that has created moments of joy and nostalgia. And it's true. Fans have gathered online to debate every choice Belly has made, every moment Conrad faltered, every time Jeremiah's heart broke. The show has sparked conversations about first love, family bonds, grief, and the messy beauty of growing up. It is not just entertainment, it's a mirror, reflecting the emotions so many people carry in their own lives. That's why the stakes for the movie feel so high. It's not just about Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah anymore. It's about the millions of fans who see themselves in these characters. Anticipation for the movie has reached a fever pitch because it represents something bigger than closure. It represents the chance for fans to finally exhale after years of tension. Will Belly marry Conrad? Will Jeremiah find peace? Will the Fisher family heal after so many summers of conflict and love? These are the questions echoing across social media, fan forums, and watch parties around the world. And the beauty of Jenny Han's storytelling is that she knows the answers aren't simple. She has built a universe where love is never easy, where choices carry consequences, and where endings are as bittersweet as real life. That's why fans trust her, even when they're terrified of what she might write next. What makes this final chapter so powerful is the knowledge that it cannot be undone. When the credits roll on the movie, there will be no season 4, no hidden epilogue waiting in the wings. This is it, the definitive ending to a story that has spanned books, screens, and years of our lives. And that knowledge is both exhilarating and terrifying. Fans want a happy ending, but they also want an ending that feels real. Jenny Han has never shied away from the messy middle of life, so why would she now? That's the suspense driving every conversation. Not just what will happen, but how it will happen, and how it will leave us feeling when it's over. So here we are, standing on the edge of the unknown. Belly's canceled wedding in season 3 opened the door. Conrad's confession in Paris lit the path forward. Jeremiah's silence hangs in the background, waiting for resolution. And Jenny Han's pen is poised to give us the final word. Will the movie deliver the wedding fans have been dreaming of? Or will it twist the narrative one last time, leaving us in tears, in awe, and maybe even in shock? The only certainty is that this film will not just end a story, it will close an era. The Summer I Turned Pretty has defined love and heartbreak for a generation, and its movie finale will be the moment that legacy is sealed forever. Fans across the globe are waiting, holding their breath, hoping for joy but bracing for heartbreak. And when the lights dim and the final chapter begins, one truth will become clear. Belly's story was never just about summer or even about love. It was about growing up, about finding yourself, and about the choices that shape the rest of your life. This is Belly's next chapter. This is the ending we've all been waiting for, and it's coming soon.